I remember the day like it was yesterday. The sun was setting, painting the sky in beautiful shades of orange and pink. It was supposed to be a happy day, with exciting news awaiting me. My name is Rose, and back then, I was living a life centered around my acting dreams. I dreamed about the stage, the lights, and the applause. My days were filled with rehearsals and performances with my local drama club. But everything changed when I met Nathan. He seemed charming and successful. But I later discovered he was controlling. He made it clear that if I wanted a life with him, my acting dreams had to go. Fast forward 10 years, our marriage had its ups and downs. Then one evening in our kitchen, I had a positive pregnancy test hidden in my pocket, ready to share the joy. I even bought a small chocolate cake to celebrate. However, Nathan walked in with divorce papers, saying he wanted a divorce. He didn't even give me a chance to speak. Stunned and trembling, I asked why. He coldly explained that he had been thinking about it for a long time. He refused to answer whether there was someone else. The joy of my pregnancy vanished, leaving me with a shattered heart. I stood there, holding back tears as he walked away, leaving me with unsigned divorce papers. That was the last thing Nathan said to me. Unaware of the child growing inside me, I became single again, but this time with a life growing inside me. Maybe, just maybe, it was this unborn child that gave me the strength to endure what was to come. The following years were a blur of sleepless nights and tireless days as I navigated the challenges of being a single mother. But Jenny, my little angel, made every struggle worth it. She had her father's eyes, but thankfully, nothing else of him. She became my joy, my miracle. Then, 5 years later, life threw me another curveball. I was at the local supermarket with Jenny when I saw him, Nathan. He looked different, disheveled, as if life hadn't been kind to him. He was with a young woman, probably in her late 20s, clinging to his arm. The sight of them together twisted something inside me. "Hey, long time no see," he said, a smirk on his face. I forced a smile, replying, "Nathan, you've changed." He asked about Jenny, and I introduced her as my daughter. A puzzled expression crossed his face. "Your daughter?" "When after our divorce," I said simply. The young woman laughed mockingly. "Oh, the ex-wife. So this is the kid." Jenny looked up at me, her big eyes filled with questions. I squeezed her hand, silently promising to protect her from the pain I once felt. Nathan just shrugged, his attention already back on his companion. "Let's go, Karen. We don't have all day." As they walked away, I looked down at Jenny, her innocent face a stark contrast to the ugliness we had just encountered. At that moment, I knew that no matter what, I would never let Nathan hurt her as he had hurt me. Life after Nathan was a series of challenges and triumphs. I raised Jenny, my little star, on my own. Each day brought new adventures, and each night, when I tucked her into bed, I felt a sense of accomplishment that no acting role could ever give me. One day, when Jenny was 6, she came home from school with excitement. "Mommy, my teacher says I'm good at acting. She wants me to be in the school play." Hearing those words, I felt a mix of pride and a pang of my long-buried dreams. "That's wonderful, honey," I said, hugging her tight. "You'll be amazing." As Jenny's interest in acting grew, so did her talent. She was a natural, reminding me of my youthful aspirations. I couldn't help but feel a sense of irony. The child I had with the man who made me give up acting was now following in my footsteps. Life had a strange way of coming full circle. One autumn afternoon, as Jenny and I walked home from her drama class, we ran into Nathan again. He was alone this time, looking even more worn out than before. "Rose, Jenny, fancy seeing you here," he said, his voice lacking the confidence it once had. "What do you want, Nathan?" I asked, my tone cold. "Just saying hello. Is that a crime?" he replied, a defensive edge to his voice. Jenny hid behind me, peeking out curiously. Nathan's gaze fell on her, and for a moment, his facade cracked, revealing a hint of regret. "You never told me about her," he said softly. "There was nothing to tell. You made your choice." I responded, bitterness unmistakable in my voice. Nathan's eyes hardened. I guess I did, but seeing her now, she's mine too, isn't she? I felt a surge of protectiveness. She's my daughter. You lost any claim to her when you walked out on us, I asserted. He scoffed, saying, I see you're still bitter. But remember, Rose, blood is thicker than water. With that, he turned and walked away, leaving a chilling promise hanging in the air. Hugging Jenny closer that night, as I watched her sleep, I promised myself I would do whatever it took to keep her safe from Nathan's toxic influence. He had already taken my dreams. I wouldn't let him take my daughter's future too. The encounter with Nathan lingered in my mind like a bad aftertaste, but life had to go on. Jenny's play was approaching, and she was the star. The night of the performance, the school auditorium buzzed with excitement. I sat in the front row, my heart swelling with pride as Jenny took the stage. She was a natural, her performance flawless, her joy infectious. After the play, as we were leaving, I felt a tap on my shoulder, turning around. I was met with the last person I wanted to see, Nathan. Great show, he said, his voice laced with something I couldn't quite place. What are you doing here, Nathan? I asked, my tone icy. I wanted to see my daughter perform. She's got talent, just like her mother, he replied, a smirk on his face. I bristled at his words. Jenny is nothing like me. She's her person, I asserted. He leaned in closer, his breath reeking of arrogance. Come on, Rose. We both know she got that talent from you, and now it's my turn to be part of her life. His words sent a chill down my spine. You gave up that right a long time ago, Nathan. He laughed, a cold, hollow sound. Rights can be reclaimed, Rose, especially when it comes to family. Just then, Jenny ran up to us, her face glowing. Mommy, did you see me? I was a princess. I smiled at her, pushing my fear aside. You were wonderful, sweetie. Nathan crouched down to her level. You were amazing, Jenny. Daddy's very proud of you. Jenny looked at him, confusion etched on her face. Daddy? I quickly intervened. Jenny, this is Nathan. We used to know each other. Nathan stood up, his eyes locking with mine. We'll see each other again, Rose. This isn't over. As he walked away, I hugged Jenny tightly, a sense of dread washing over me. Nathan's words echoed in my head, a warning of the storm that was about to hit our lives. I'd have fought hard to build a peaceful life for Jenny and me. I wasn't about to let Nathan destroy it, but deep down, I knew this was just the beginning. In the weeks that followed, Jenny's star continued to rise. Her performance at the school play had caught the attention of a local talent agent who offered her small roles in commercials and local TV shows. Jenny was thrilled, and so was I, albeit cautiously. My past encounters with Nathan had left a lingering shadow over our newfound happiness. Then, one day, as we were leaving the studio after a successful audition, I saw him again. Nathan stood there, leaning against his car, a smug look on his face. Rose, I must say, Jenny is quite the little star, he said, his eyes gleaming with something akin to greed. I felt a knot form in my stomach. What do you want, Nathan? He stepped forward, his voice dripping with false sincerity. I've been thinking. Jenny needs her father now more than ever. Fame can be tough on a kid. I scoffed. You're hardly father material, Nathan. You can't just waltz back into her life because she's on TV now. He smirked, saying, But I am her father, Rose, and it seems to me that her success could be lucrative. The implication of his words hit me like a slap. You're unbelievable. You want to profit from your daughter? Nathan shrugged nonchalantly. I'm just saying, as her father, I should have a say in her career and perhaps a share of her earnings. I stepped closer, anger surging through me. Listen to me, Nathan. You are not going to use Jenny. She's not your ticket to easy money. His expression hardened. We'll see about that, Rose. I have rights, and I intend to use them. As he drove away, I felt a cold fear settle in my heart. Nathan was serious, and I knew he wouldn't stop at anything to get what he wanted. I had to protect Jenny, not just as her mother, but also from the man who claimed to be her father, a man who saw his daughter as nothing more than a means to an end. The threat Nathan posed became all too real in the following days. I received a letter from a law firm, cold and formal, stating Nathan's intention to claim parental rights and a portion of Jenny's earnings. My hands trembled as I read it. The audacity of the man I once loved, now seeking to exploit our daughter, was chilling. I immediately sought legal counsel. The lawyer, a stern yet kind-hearted woman named Miss Thompson, listened to my story with a furrowed brow. "Don't worry, Rose. We'll fight this. He may be her biological father, but his intentions are clear. It's about money, not Jenny's well-being." The day of the court hearing arrived. I sat there, clutching Jenny's hand, as Nathan and his lawyer presented their case. He spoke of his rights as a father, his voice oozing with sincerity. "I only want what's best for my daughter," Nathan proclaimed, shooting a glance at Jenny, who shrank back in her seat. When it was our turn, Miss Thompson was formidable. "Your Honor, Mr. Nathan here showed no interest in Jenny until he learned of her budding career. His intentions are not parental care, but financial gain." The judge looked over at Nathan, skepticism in his eyes. "Mr. Nathan, what have you done to build a relationship with Jenny since your divorce?" Nathan stuttered. "Well, I've been busy, but I always cared, Your Honor." "He's lying," I blurted out, unable to contain myself. "He never cared until now." The judge nodded slowly, making notes. After a tense hour, he delivered his judgment. Nathan's petition was denied. The relief that washed over me was indescribable. But as we left the courthouse, Nathan's eyes met mine, burning with fury and defeat. "You'll pay for this, Rose," he hissed under his breath. I tightened my grip on Jenny's hand, whispering to her that everything would be okay. But as we walked away, I knew this wasn't over. Nathan's revenge would come in another form, and I needed to be ready. My only goal was to protect Jenny, whatever the cost. In the wake of the court decision, a deceptive calm settled over our lives. Jenny's career continued to flourish, and for a moment, it seemed like we could finally move past Nathan's shadow. Yet, in the quiet moments, I couldn't shake the feeling that a storm was brewing, waiting to unleash its fury upon us. I remained vigilant, knowing that Nathan's defeat in court was just one battle in a larger war. As the days turned into weeks, Jenny and I found solace in our routines. We celebrated her achievements, attended events, and basked in the simple joys of life. However, the eerie calm persisted, a constant reminder that Nathan's anger and resentment were simmering beneath the surface. Then, one evening, as Jenny and I returned home from an event, we found our front door ajar. Panic seized me as I rushed inside to find the living room in disarray. Photos were scattered on the floor, and a chilling message was scrawled on the wall: "You can't escape me." It was a stark realization that Nathan's vendetta had taken a darker turn. Fear and determination fueled my actions. I immediately contacted the police, ensuring our safety became the top priority. Security measures were heightened, and Jenny and I were advised to stay vigilant. Every creak of the floor, every unfamiliar sound became a source of anxiety, as we lived in constant fear of Nathan's next move. Amid this turmoil, I clung to the promise I made to protect Jenny at any cost. Together, we faced the storm that Nathan had unleashed upon us, navigating the dark twists and turns of a tumultuous journey. The battle to secure our peace was far from over, but with unwavering determination, I stood firm in my commitment to shield Jenny from the shadows of her past. But that peace was shattered one ordinary Tuesday afternoon. I was running late from work, and Jenny was at a photo shoot with her manager, Molly. As I hurried towards the studio, my phone rang. It was Molly, her voice laced with panic. "Rose, it's Jenny. She's gone." My heart stopped. "What do you mean, gone?" I asked, fear gripping me. Molly's voice broke as she explained, "Nathan, he took her." I only looked away for a second. Rage and fear surged within me. "I'm on my way." I arrived at the studio to find police cars and a crowd of onlookers. Molly was in tears. "I'm so sorry, Rose." I tried to stop him, but he pushed me away. The police took our statements, and I described Nathan with a cold fury I didn't recognize in myself. As the reality of the situation sank in, my fear for Jenny turned into something fiercer. I wouldn't let Nathan harm our daughter. The next hours were a blur of police questions, flashing lights, and a growing pit of fear in my stomach. I posted on social media, pleading for any information on Jenny's whereabouts. The response was overwhelming. Jenny's fans mobilized, sharing the post, offering help, and providing leads. Then, a breakthrough came. Karen, Nathan's girlfriend, reached out. She had seen my post and, in a turn of conscience, provided Nathan's location. Armed with this information, the police moved swiftly. They found Nathan in a rundown motel, and thankfully, Jenny was unharmed. Relief and gratitude washed over me as I rushed to be reunited with my daughter. The nightmare seemed to be over, but the scars it left were deep. Jenny, though physically unharmed, was emotionally shaken. The ordeal had taken its toll on all of us. In the aftermath, legal proceedings unfolded. Nathan faced charges of abduction and violating restraining orders. The courtroom became a battleground, where the echoes of our past struggles and his relentless pursuit clashed. Jenny and I stood united, facing the storm once again, determined to secure justice and safeguard our future from the looming shadows of Nathan's actions. Scared as they arrested Nathan, I held Jenny tight, promising her that she was safe now and that I would never let anything like this happen again. The aftermath was a whirlwind of media attention. Nathan was charged with kidnapping, but his lawyer argued for a lesser sentence, citing emotional distress. The thought of him getting away with a slap on the wrist was unbearable. However, Jenny's agency, concerned about the public's perception, urged for a settlement. Reluctantly, I agreed, but on one condition. Nathan would have no rights to Jenny, legally or financially. The settlement felt like a hollow victory. Nathan was free, but his reputation was in tatters. The story of his greed and callousness spread, and he lost his job. Shunned by friends and colleagues, he became a pariah. As for Jenny, her bravery and resilience only endeared her more to her fans. Her career continued to soar, and through it all, she remained grounded. Her sweet smile became a constant reminder of the strength and love that had carried us through the darkest of times. We rebuilt our lives, finding solace in the support of those who stood by us. Jenny's journey became an inspiration for many, a testament to the power of resilience and the unwavering bond between a mother and her daughter. Despite the pain and trauma, we emerged stronger, turning the page on a dark chapter of our lives. Nathan's attempts to exploit our daughter had failed, and Jenny's light shone brighter than ever. The scars of the past were healing, and we focused on creating a future filled with love, laughter, and shared accomplishments. The shadows of Nathan's actions no longer cast a daunting presence over our lives, and we embraced the new beginnings that lay ahead, grateful for the strength that emerged from adversity. I hope you guys enjoy our video. To watch more interesting stories, hit that subscribe button. Thank you.